welcome to another edition of Teach Inspire Today. I am so glad that you joined me here today. It's Debbie Major, your guide and fellow former teacher turned financial planner, here to walk us through some of the 7 essentials that you need for retirement. And we're doing part 2 today. We did part 1 last time, part 2 today. Again, my name is Debbie Major.
Teachers, you give so much every day. You're shaping lives and you're inspiring the future. But when it comes to your retirement, the path forward can feel uncertain. If you're an educator juggling demands of busy schedules and financial stress, you are not alone. Many teachers worry about outliving their savings, or managing their pension, or ensuring long-term care without burdening their family, with pensions often alone falling short. Many educators struggle to bridge the gap between what they need and what they have for a secure retirement. That's where Educators Financial Foresight Weekly comes in. Each week, I'll guide you through clear, actionable steps to understand your pension and spot hidden gaps, build a retirement income strategy tailored to your needs, protect your savings from inflation and unexpected costs, and plan for long-term care and estate needs without burdening your loved ones. Your career has been about making a difference. Tune in every Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern on YouTube and LinkedIn. Let's build a retirement as rewarding as your career.
So, you're thinking about retiring, or you're thinking about maybe you might want to retire someday. Right? So, what are some things that we need to think about? What do we want to make sure that we know we have taken care of? Well, one thing that a lot of us may not think about so much is our health. Right? We think about it a lot when we're active or we need to do something, but we don't really, and we know that as it's going to probably slow down as we age, right? And that is something that you really do want to think about is, how are you going to take care of yourself? Right? What are you going to do? Because one day, oh my goodness, you are going to be looking at longevity. The generation after me is headed to be living to 100 years old. That's supposed to be the standard. Right now, we're living to that late 70s, early 80s. That's average. But if you make it to 65, you've got a 1 in 4 chance of making it to over 90. So longevity, that's a lot of years to be retired. It's something we really want to think about. And how do we want to live that longevity? What do we want to, where do we want to be, and how do we want to be taken care of? Our health insurance is going to change. If you retire before you're 65, you're going to end up probably staying on your retiree coverage and paying for that. Once you reach 65, you go on to Medicare, so you'll go on to a different type of plan. Usually it will save you some money, but what I want you to keep in mind is it's only health insurance. It is not long-term care insurance. It is not home health care insurance. It's none of those things. It's just meant to be, you go in the hospital, you see the doctor, you get test run. It's just health insurance. So you want to make sure you think about your long-term care options. There are a lot of long-term care options and different things that you can do to be ready to live in the nursing home with all of these fabulous people, which I hope I am still dancing around like that at that age. There's lots of choices out there, and there's more choices all the time. You can have home care, or a lot of people like to start there or stay in their home as long as possible. There's independent living, there's assisted living, there's nursing home care. All of those have different expenses that go along with them. All of them are going to be dependent on what your health needs are and how healthy you are and what you can go into and what you can afford. And so the big question is, how do we pay for it? And it's really important, because if you don't pay for it, someone else is going to have to pay for it. So these are the ways that people usually do it. First would be you would self-fund, meaning you pay for it yourself. You sell the house, or you use your investments, or whatever it is that you have, but you pay the bill yourself out of the savings that you have. Secondly, you could use long-term care insurance. And by this, I mean the traditional long-term care insurance you pay every month. And then it pays you a benefit per day once you go into assisted living. That's wonderful insurance. It's best to get it when you're a little bit younger and not when you're a little bit older, because it does go up by price and there are some health questions. The third thing, which would be long-term care annuities, or there's special annuities that have like long-term care benefit riders, or they can become they can give you more than the amount you put in to be used for long-term care. These are really nice for people who have an issue with funding. They have a lump sum of money, but they don't have enough to pay for years of coverage. Now, I will say typically it's 5 years. You figure 5 years, stay in a nursing home. So that's, if you figure 5 years and you're paying like $5,000 a month or something, then that's what you'd want to work on. If you've got a life insurance need, there is what's called a long-term care rider for many life insurance policies. And what that lets you do is use part of the death benefit for your long-term care needs. So you would make a claim, and they would take part of the death benefit to pay your nursing home care or your assisted living care. And actually, usually you can use it for anything. And then when all else is depleted or you have nothing else, then you're reliant on Medicaid. And, to realize, some people will think, I'll just let Medicaid take care of it and everything else. You realize a couple of things. For one, they're going to look at all of your assets. They have a look back period for how long you've had them or retitled them to someone else if you think you're going to do it that way. They also have a limited places of where you can stay. So if you want to stay in the kind of place that you want, and you want to be able to have more say in your care and your choices for care, you're going to want to think of another way besides Medicaid to be able to get that done for you. All right, so that was number 4. All right, so now we're going on to number 5 of 7. All right, what is number 5? It is have an income plan. Basically, know what you've got and know where it's going. It's really important that you realize that you're going from a paycheck that comes in to your money being the paycheck for life. And so as long as you live, you're going to be spending what you've spent all that time saving. So it's really important that you have an income plan. And of course, that's going to mean estimating annual expenses and be realistic about it. I know I talked about a budget last time, and that's not really what I'm talking about here. I'm talking more like in your head, know that, your first years you may want to travel. What do you want to do? What is your heart set on? Who do you want to visit? Those things are all really, really important. And, I encourage you to take the time to be able to do all of that. So figure out, what do you think your annual expenses are going to be? Because you want to see if your income plan is going to meet around it. The next thing you want to check is your portfolio, your investment portfolio. How is it? Any other savings besides a pension or a rider on an annuity that you may be getting, or Social Security, is going to be anything that's in the market is going to be fluctuating by the market, which means it can go up and down. The traditional portfolio that advisors have been talking about for many, many years is the 60-40. So I put this in so you would know what we're talking about. And what that means is you have 60% in stocks, 40% in bonds. Stocks are a company that you would be in. Bonds are, you get a coupon, they pay you. You buy it outright. So as you get older, you may want to make the stock part smaller, the bond part larger. You may want to throw in some cash in there or other things like that. But when they talk about a traditional 60-40 portfolio, this is what they're looking at. It may be fine for you going forward, and it may not. It's really important to know, and that's why I say make sure you get regular reviews. Make sure you're sitting down yearly, going over what you've got, seeing how much it's either gone up or down, or how much you can take out, or how much you need to take out. Of course, the problem is, that people run into is if you have to take out when the market goes down. So look at what your income sources are. My view is that anything that is a fixed income for you, like the mortgage, the utilities, and the groceries, we call it the mug expenses, should be covered by fixed income, which means your pension and Social Security and any annuities that you have, either a lifetime rider, an annuity, whatever you've got that you've got for the rest of your life and it's going to come in the first of the month. That should be your peace of mind money, and you should know where it's coming from. All right, now this next one, number 6, I know I've talked about before, and I will probably talk about it many, many, many more times on this show. But you want to know which tax funnels your money is in and what kind of money, because when you go to take it out, you need to know how it's taxed. So I do have a nice chart here, picture of the tax efficient funnels. And so you can see there are three. You'll see that on the pre-tax one funnel, that money's going in, like your IRA money, your 401k money, it's all coming out. Everything is taxed. Your middle one, the post-tax, is things like bank accounts, real estate, brokerage accounts. You pay the money in with after-tax dollars, and then the money is only taxed on the growth. And then, of course, our favorite accounts, especially as tax planners, is the tax-advantaged accounts, because you put the money in with after-tax. But when you take it out, it's tax-free. So as long as you follow their rules, you take it out tax-free. And this can be really important depending on what tax bracket you're in, and or if taxes go up. It'll help you want to be able to know where you can take your money from. So it's really important. And that's how is your money taxed? Make sure you know that. All right, number 7, talk to a professional. Some of you may have a professional already that you're working with, or someone that you opened a 403B with that you've talked to, or someone. But talk to a professional, not just your friends who are retiring, because this is what they can help you do. They can help you clarify your income plan. They can help you optimize Social Security if you're going to receive it. They can look at your different options with Social Security, see what it's going to be like at the different times, and what that means overall for the longevity of your life. They also help with legacy planning and tax planning and insurance planning, making sure everything is in place. A true financial professional is not going to just say, buy this investment here and do this, or buy this annuity here and do this. They're going to say, let's look at the whole picture. Where does everything fit? Make sure it all fits together and makes sense, and make sure it makes sense to you. So it's really important. All right. Well, that was a pretty quick talk today. So in conclusion, I want you to be proactive. Decide what you want to do. Decide where you want to go. Look at your expenses. Be realistic. Know what it is that you want to do, what you need to do, because I want you to live your best life. If you want some help, you can schedule a goals call now. You can go to www.calendar.com. I've also going to put the link in the chat, but if that doesn't work, you can go there, schedule a 15-minute call, and we will talk about your goals and what you want to do and what you might be thinking about doing, help you understand your pension and how your things are going to work together. You can always reach me at deb@teachersroadmap.com. Thank you so much. I am so glad you were able to join me today. Join me again in another couple weeks for Teach Inspire Today. I will look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.